About Last Night is about real relationships. You know, there's nothing really romanticized in this particular film. I mean, you see, it's got a nice balance to it where you see the good and the bad in a relationship, you know, and two people who kind of overlook, four people who tend to kind of overlook um, some of the glaring red flags that are there at the beginning in an attempt to try and make themselves happy. I think Danny's a pretty good guy. I just think, you know, like most of us, he's very human. He's going to make mistakes. He can be selfish at times, and you know that can bite him a little bit. You know that can bite him. So, but that's what I actually enjoy about this character is that he is flawed. You know, it's much more interesting to play. We met right before we started shooting, and at that point, I knew we were going to be all right. You know, and I know some other people that had worked with her, and they were like, "Dude, you're going to love working with her." And it's true. I mean, we've collaborated, we've worked on the stuff, we have chemistry. It's all there. We have a really strong understanding of where these characters are and where they're going. And you just kind of can't ask for anything better in a coworker. Working with Kevin, more fun this time than it was the last time. We are growing a certain rhythm and a rapport with each other whereby we can look at a scene and it just becomes a blueprint. We're both going to improv. We're both going to make it work. We're going to give it that rhythm that it needs, that back and forth nature that's going to make it really pop. And we have so much fun doing that together. And at the same time, you know, having Kevin around during the long hours is the best thing that you can ask for because we work long hours, and as it gets, the later and later it gets, the more you need to laugh. And there's just no version of not laughing on this set with Kevin Hart around. I think I've had more sex in this movie than any other project I've done, maybe even combined. I mean, there's a lot. We do a lot. We do it a lot. And it's awesome, you know. It's very grown, I think, to kind of show what grown people really do, you know, as opposed to just kind of, see somebody kissing and then move the frame out to like the sunset or something. You know what I mean? No, we getting it in. We getting it in, and honestly, um, I think it's important to show the intimacy between these two people. You know, I think a lot of movies tend to gloss over the intimacy, and that's what makes people think it's so cute. But we start off with a great deal of intimacy, and you slowly begin to see that fade.